Every one of us is given the same amount of time each day, 24 hours, not 1 second more, not 1 second less. Time is the most impartial and precious resource we possess. But the difference between an ordinary life and an extraordinary one is not found in how much time we have. It is found in how we use it. You see, many people live their lives as if time is infinite, postponing their dreams, their discipline, and their growth for another day. But in the philosophy of the Shi Heng tradition, we are taught that every moment is an opportunity to train the body, to discipline the mind, to connect with our purpose. So the real question is not, do you have enough time? The real question is, are you living consciously with the time you've been given? This talk is not about managing your schedule. It is about understanding your intention. It is about awakening to the value of each hour, each breath, each action. Because when your direction is clear and your actions are aligned, 24 hours becomes more than enough. Let us reflect, let us reset, let us begin. In the teachings of ancient wisdom traditions, including the Shi Heng path, the very first step toward mastering time is not found in the external world, but within oneself. Clarity of purpose is not a luxury. It is the foundation upon which all meaningful action is built. When we lack direction, our actions scatter like leaves in the wind, busy, restless, and ultimately aimless. But when we know deeply why we rise in the morning, why we train, why we work, then every hour, every moment becomes infused with meaning. A person with no purpose will fill their day with distractions. They will chase after comfort, entertainment, or fleeting pleasures because the silence of life without direction is unbearable. But a person with purpose, real purpose, uses their 24 hours like a sculptor uses a chisel. Each task, no matter how small, becomes part of a larger design. Whether they are meditating, working, or resting, everything is connected to the same root, intention. Clarity is not something that appears by chance. It must be cultivated, it must be earned through stillness, through self-observation, through honest reflection. Many people think they are too busy to stop and reflect, but this is like saying you are too thirsty to drink water. Without clarity, no amount of effort can produce harmony. Without purpose, time is just a clock ticking, not a tool for transformation. When your mind is clouded by conflicting desires, when you are pulled in many directions by voices that are not your own, you will never use your time well. You will simply react like a machine programmed by society, by fear, by habit. But when you become still, when you listen closely to the quiet voice inside you, that is when true clarity arises, and with it your time becomes sacred. You stop living according to what others expect, and begin living in alignment with your inner path. In the Shi Heng tradition, a monk does not train for the sake of motion, but for the sake of mastery. Every movement in Kung Fu, every breath in meditation, serves a greater purpose. That is what gives it power. In the same way, your daily life must be an expression of your deeper values. Without that, your time will be wasted not in rest, but in restlessness. Even a full schedule can be a form of avoidance when it lacks a guiding purpose. Clarity of purpose brings simplicity. It cuts through noise. You stop trying to do everything and begin doing only what truly matters. You realize that time is not about doing more, but about doing what is right. You begin to see that many things can wait, but your own growth cannot. Many people and situations will try to pull you away from your path, but when you are clear, you do not resist them with force. You simply remain unmoved. To find this clarity, you must ask yourself the questions that many avoid. What is truly important to me? Who do I want to become? What am I willing to let go of in order to walk my path? These are not easy questions, but they are necessary. Without them, your time will be spent chasing shadows. With them, your time becomes a fire that forges character, discipline, and meaning. Clarity does not mean you will never feel lost. It means you have a compass to return to when the path becomes uncertain. It means that even when the external world is chaotic, you remain grounded in an internal sense of direction. Your actions are no longer reactions. They are responses rooted in awareness. You do not seek validation. You do not need constant stimulation. You move with calm, with intent, with quiet confidence. When clarity is present, procrastination fades, not because you force yourself to act, but because your actions are no longer burdens. They are expressions of your truth. You stop asking whether you feel like doing something and begin asking whether this action reflects your purpose. This shift in mindset changes everything. Time no longer slips through your fingers. It flows through you with presence. This is why monks rise before the sun, why they live with such simplicity. Because when your purpose is clear, your actions follow naturally. You no longer need motivation. You have devotion. You no longer chase results. You focus on the process. Each moment becomes enough because it is aligned. This is not a theory. This is a discipline. A way of walking, of breathing, of living. Discipline is the invisible thread that binds time to purpose. Without discipline, even the clearest intentions dissolve into wishful thinking. Many people wait for motivation to arrive before taking action, not realizing that discipline is what gives birth to motivation, not the other way around. In the Shaolin path, discipline is not punishment, nor is it control over others. It is mastery over the self. It is the willingness to act not when it is convenient, but when it is necessary. Discipline transforms the ordinary into something sacred because it brings presence, consistency, and structure to your life. Every day consists of the same 24 hours. But what separates the one who grows from the one who stagnates is the ability to return again and again to what must be done, regardless of how one feels in the moment. Feelings change, energy fluctuates, circumstances evolve, but discipline remains. It becomes a constant, a form of inner structure that holds you upright when everything else is uncertain. The disciplined mind is like a still lake. It is not easily disturbed. It knows its direction and commits to walking the path, even when no one is watching. In the Shaolin temple, the training begins before the body is ready. The muscles ache, the breath shortens, and the mind resists. But this is the test, this is the gateway, because discipline is forged in discomfort. It is shaped through repetition, through early mornings and late nights, through doing what is required again and again. In this process, something changes, not just in the body, but in the spirit. You begin to trust yourself. You begin to realize that strength is not something you are born with. It is something you build. And you build it one choice at a time. Time, when combined with discipline, becomes a force of transformation. A single focused hour each day, applied consistently, is more powerful than 10 distracted hours filled with hesitation. The world often praises talent, but talent without discipline is like a sword that is never sharpened. It may appear valuable, but it cannot cut through resistance. The disciplined person, even with limited resources, will surpass the undisciplined person with abundant potential. Because discipline makes effort sustainable. It makes your actions predictable, dependable, and strong. There will always be days when your mind says no, when comfort seems more attractive than growth. But this is when discipline speaks. Discipline is the voice that says, I made a commitment, I will not break it. It does not seek drama or recognition. It is quiet like the roots of a tree, unseen but vital. And the deeper those roots grow, the stronger you become. The storms of life do not uproot you, because your discipline holds you firm. Discipline also brings freedom. This may seem like a contradiction, but it is not. A life without discipline becomes chaotic. It is ruled by moods, impulses, distractions. You become a prisoner of your own inconsistency. But when you create structure, when you decide, for example, to rise at the same time each day, to train your body, to focus your energy, you free yourself from the trap of indecision. You no longer waste time wondering what to do. You already know the path is set. You walk it with clarity and resolve. In the Shaolin tradition, the repetition of form is not about perfection. It is about refinement. You do the same movement not once, but 1,000 times. And with each repetition, you learn something new, not just about the movement, but about yourself. This is the power of discipline. It peels away the layers of resistance. It exposes your weaknesses so that you can strengthen them. It reveals your distractions so that you can remove them. It takes what is vague and makes it precise. Discipline does not mean doing more. It means doing what matters consistently, regardless of excuses. It is a filter that removes the unnecessary, the trivial, the tempting shortcuts. It demands patience, because discipline is never built in a moment. It is built over weeks, months, years, and yet each moment is a brick in that wall. Each decision adds to the structure. Over time, what seemed difficult becomes normal. What once felt impossible becomes routine. Even your rest, when guided by discipline, becomes restorative rather than wasteful. You rest not because you are escaping the day, but because you have earned it. You are not at the mercy of time. You are working with it. You begin to experience rhythm, harmony, flow, and this rhythm becomes the music of your life. It carries you forward, day by day, task by task, choice by choice. You stop thinking about how far you have to go, and instead focus on how well you are walking the path today. The world does not need more people with dreams. It needs more people with discipline. Dreams are fragile without structure. Ideas are empty without effort. But when discipline is present, you become dependable, not only to others, but to yourself. Your time becomes focused. Your actions become aligned. Your days begin to build upon each other like steps toward a mountain summit. In a world that glorifies constant motion, it is easy to believe that stillness is a weakness or a waste of time. But true strength is born not only in movement, but in the ability to be still and observe without reacting. The mind that never pauses cannot see clearly. The heart that never rests cannot feel deeply. In the Shaolin tradition, stillness is not inactivity, it is awareness. It is the calm center from which right action emerges. Without stillness, we are simply reacting to life. With stillness, we respond to it with intention and clarity. Each day, countless decisions are made, often without thought, driven by habits, emotions, or external pressure. Yet, when one takes the time to step back and reflect, a new dimension opens. In that space, between the impulse and the action, lies the opportunity for wisdom. Stillness does not mean doing nothing. It means doing one thing, listening to your breath, listening to your inner voice, listening to what life is trying to teach you in that very moment. It is in these quiet moments that we discover our real motives, our hidden fears, and our true desires. Reflection is not about overthinking or becoming trapped in the past. It is about observing what is, with honesty and without judgment. Many people fill their time with activity to avoid this. They avoid silence because silence reveals, but only through this process of self-inquiry can you align your actions with your deeper values. Without reflection, your time becomes mechanical. You do what you have always done, never asking why, but with reflection, even routine becomes sacred because you are present within it. There is a practice in the temple where a monk sits in meditation for hours, not to escape the world, but to see it more clearly. The eyes may be closed, but the awareness is wide open. In this state, the mind settles, the breath deepens, and the truth that is hidden beneath noise begins to rise. This practice is not separate from action. It prepares you for it. Just as a still lake reflects the sky without distortion, a still mind reflects reality with clarity, and from that clarity, wise decisions are made, focused energy is applied, time is used in the right way. People often believe that being busy means being productive, but busyness is often a form of avoidance. It can be a way to run from the discomfort of self-awareness. Yet the person who pauses even briefly to ask, "What am I doing and why am I doing it?" is already using their time more wisely than the one who rushes from task to task without reflection. That one moment of awareness can redirect an entire day. That single breath of mindfulness can prevent 100 mistakes. Stillness teaches you to let go of urgency, not because time is unimportant, but because urgency without awareness leads to mistakes. The disciplined practitioner understands that rushing is not the same as progress. True progress is rooted in clarity, and clarity arises in stillness. Even in action, there must be a quiet mind. Even in challenge, there must be inner space. This is what allows you to adapt, to choose wisely, to remain steady no matter what the outer conditions may be. There is also stillness in nature that teaches us this truth. The mountain does not move, yet it shapes the wind. The tree does not chase the sun, yet it receives its light. There is great power in stillness when it is alive and aware. It gathers energy instead of scattering it. It creates depth instead of remaining shallow. It cultivates patience instead of chasing speed. And all of these qualities are essential for using time in the right way. The modern world offers countless tools to manage time: calendars, schedules, reminders. But without inner stillness, these tools become burdens rather than aids. They keep us busy, but not always effective. A few minutes each day spent in stillness can recalibrate your entire system. It allows you to observe your patterns, your emotions, your thoughts, and to bring them into harmony. From this foundation, your time becomes more focused, more impactful, more meaningful. When you develop the habit of reflection, you begin to catch yourself in the moment. You become aware of when you are drifting, when you are procrastinating, when you are acting out of fear rather than purpose. This awareness is the key to change, because you cannot change what you do not see, and you cannot see what you are too busy to notice. Stillness gives you back your power by reconnecting you to the present moment. In silence, there is space for insight. In reflection, there is room for growth. This is why the path of the warrior is not only a path of action, but also of meditation. The balance between movement and stillness, between doing and being, is what allows you to walk the path with strength and peace. When you integrate reflection into your daily rhythm, your time no longer slips away unconsciously. It becomes a mirror of your awareness, your discipline, your intention. Energy is the unseen force behind how we use our time. Without energy, even the best intentions collapse. Time alone is not enough. It is the quality of your energy that determines how effective, focused, and present you are in each hour. When your energy is scattered, your attention is weak. When your energy is drained, your actions lack purpose. This is why it is not only important to manage your time, but to protect your energy, because time passes no matter what, but energy is something you must guard and cultivate with awareness. Each day brings demands. People, responsibilities, distractions, they all seek a portion of your time, but more deeply they seek your energy. Every interaction, every decision, every thought takes energy. If you are not careful, your energy is slowly consumed by things that do not support your growth. You begin the day clear, but end it exhausted, not because you did too much that mattered, but because you gave yourself away to what did not. Protecting your energy requires the strength to say no, not from a place of rejection, but from a place of alignment. In the Shaolin tradition, energy is cultivated like a precious flame. It is not to be wasted, not to be leaked through anger, worry, or mindless activity. Through physical training, breathing, and mindfulness, monks learn to harness their energy, to concentrate it. This is why they move with intention and speak with precision. Every action is deliberate, every movement aligned with the moment. In your own life, you must begin to treat your energy the same way. Ask yourself before every commitment, is this moving me closer to who I want to become, or pulling me further away? One of the greatest causes of energy loss is mental noise. Worrying about the future, regretting the past, comparing yourself to others. All of this drains you. These thoughts are like open windows in winter, letting your inner warmth escape. Protecting your energy means closing those windows. It means returning your awareness to the present again and again, so that your energy remains concentrated and available for what truly matters. This is not a one-time decision, it is a daily practice. Another way energy is lost is through environments that do not support your values. If you constantly surround yourself with negativity, with people who doubt you, with places that drain your attention, your energy will be in a constant state of defense. In such a state, even simple tasks feel heavy. But when you protect your environment, when you create space that nourishes your focus, your health, your spirit, then your energy naturally begins to rise. It becomes easier to do what needs to be done because you are no longer pushing against the weight of resistance. Protecting your energy also means being mindful of what you consume, not just food, but media, conversations, thoughts. Everything you take in becomes part of your internal atmosphere. The wrong inputs cloud your clarity and weaken your discipline. The right inputs elevate your state and increase your vitality. In the temple, this is why monks follow specific routines, not out of restriction, but to maintain purity of body and mind. You must begin to treat your attention as something sacred, because where your attention goes, your energy follows. Sometimes, protecting your energy means allowing yourself to rest, not as an escape, but as recovery. Real rest is not distraction, it is restoration. Many people confuse numbing with rest, scrolling, binge, watching, excessive stimulation. All of this may feel like rest, but it actually leaves you more drained. True rest is quiet, intentional, and energizing. Whether it is sleep, stillness, nature, or breath, these are the sources that refill your inner well so you can continue walking your path with strength. When you protect your energy, you naturally begin to use your time more wisely. You become more selective. You start investing your hours instead of spending them. You no longer chase after everything, but focus on the few things that truly matter. You stop allowing urgency to control your schedule and instead build your day around your values. This clarity turns time into a tool and not a trap. It is no longer something you race against, it becomes something you walk with. It is also important to understand that not everyone will respect your energy the way you do. There will always be people who want your time, your attention, your help. You cannot give to everyone. You must learn to draw boundaries, not out of selfishness, but out of responsibility. When your energy is preserved, you are able to give more deeply, more effectively, and more meaningfully to the people and causes that align with your purpose. But if you allow yourself to be depleted, you cannot help anyone, not even yourself. Energy, like water, must be directed. If it spills everywhere, it nourishes nothing. But if it flows with purpose, it brings life to everything it touches. Your ability to use your 24 hours well depends not just on your schedule, but on how much of yourself is fully present in each moment. That presence is only possible when your energy is protected, when your choices are conscious, and when your life becomes a reflection of inner discipline and outer clarity. Time is the most equal resource given to all, yet how we use it defines the path of our lives. In every sunrise, we receive a new set of 24 hours, not as a guarantee, but as a gift. The question is never how much time we have, but whether we are living in a way that honors it. Through clarity of purpose, we awaken direction. Through discipline, we build structure. Through stillness and reflection, we gain wisdom. And through the protection of our energy, we preserve the strength to walk our chosen path. You do not need more hours in a day. You need more presence in the hours you already have. Let your time be guided not by noise, but by intention. Let your actions rise not from urgency, but from understanding. And let your life become a quiet example of how discipline, awareness, and purpose can turn the ordinary rhythm of daily life into a path of inner mastery